Hey y'all. Make sure you guys can hear me. I'm sorry my screen's shaking. Hope you're all doing well. Okay, yeah, you can hear me. Cool. All right. So apologies that I did not live stream yesterday, but I am here today. But yeah, I was a little bit thrown for a loop yesterday. Hey Sandy. So my mother, she got a dog, and I wasn't handling it very well, to be honest, because it was unexpected. I knew she touched his hair. We'll talk about that soon, yeah. But yeah, it was unexpected. I got home, and then I got a call from my mom saying she was bringing a dog home. So, caught me off guard. And I was just afraid to meet her. And I kind of just, shut down and locked myself away for a few hours. So I was just in no position to live stream, and, I did eventually meet her towards the end of the night. Pretty late last night. She's a lot bigger, and her name is Toffee, and she's 1 year old. Very sweet girl, but I'll be honest, I was not ready for a new dog, and I'm still kind of processing a little bit. You went through a similar thing, hey Angel? Yeah, I don't know how to feel, and at the same time, I'm like, I don't want her to feel uncomfortable in this house, so I'm just doing my best to treat her just like I treated George, and be kind and sympathize and all that. The one is still there. I hope you like it. Replacement writers. I'm sure you guys can hear Toffee right now, probably. You'll grow to love her. I know I will for sure. It's just hard, But yeah. Well, we have two topics today, but we can talk about how GH has been this whole week thus far anyway. His wife was supposedly allergic to cats, but wasn't after all. Interesting. My goodness. And yes, it's also surreal to hear a dog in the house again. Very, very weird. What kind of breed? It's a mixture of... hold on. Let me look. It's like a Labrador and a poodle, I guess. But I don't see any poodle in it. And my uncle seems to think there's a bit of collie in there. But we're only going by what the Humane Society told my mom. So they said Labrador and poodle mixture. And she's like black and a little bit sort of sandy blondish fur here and there. Hey Nathan. I haven't really taken pictures yet. I took a video and I posted it on my personal Instagram story, but it was very silhouette-y because it was first thing in the morning. And I did not sleep well last night at all. But today was okay. Carly, Eddie, Olivia were hilarious today. I'll agree with that. Okay, so here's my thoughts on before we get into the two main topics of the stream. The few things that I want to say about this week thus far. I actually really appreciate the filler moments that have been going on this week. Because while they're filler, they're still kind of continuing the story. And it's just like the little things, like Sunny watching, a fight and calling Dante. Like those little kind of moments. And of course, Alexis and Gregory playing the axe throwing thing. Hulu's been funky with uploading GH. Oh, they're uploading late? Oh, man. Anyone else notice that? I don't watch on Hulu. I record it from my TV, and then I watch it when I get home. I had today off, which thank God I did. I don't think I could have gone to work. But yeah. It's weird that Hulu's acting weird. Maybe something's going on behind the scenes over there, too. But yeah, and then like even seeing little things like Olivia and Carly reminiscing about their friendship. I'm kind of mad that while they talked about the first time they met, they didn't use that scene in the flashback, and they should have, and I'm bitter about it. But they did use some very early Carly and Olivia scenes, which I liked, so it was nice to see like them bond over their friendship, random as it was. And I kind of liked seeing Olivia and Carly slum it in a dive bar today, back to their old scenes, even though it wasn't Jake's, or the clubs in Bensonhurst or what have you, but their kind of vibe back in the day for sure. Oh yeah, and as you were saying, Angel, Esme touching Spencer's hair at the end of that montage of them taking selfies together. I don't know how I feel about that. Like, it's good that they're getting along, but I'm uncomfortable. I am uncomfortable, and I'm even more sorry that, more upset, rather, at how Portia is acting and the shade that she brought towards Spencer, and like not even letting her say goodbye to Trina, and also the fact that Spencer didn't even like stand up for himself and saying, no, I'm gonna say goodbye to my girlfriend, and just like just backing off. That kind of made me upset, because I'm like, no, the decent thing to do would be to say goodbye, and Portia knows that. Carly and Olivia didn't get along at first. No, they didn't. Well, they did on the day that they met. Only because, she brought all this truth about Kate Howard, Connie Falconeri her way, and she was loving it. But yeah, they obviously went through hell because of, Dante and what Dante did that ended up getting Michael in prison, and then raped in prison, unfortunately. So there was a lot of awkwardness with them. It wasn't a straight friendship road, but they did bond a lot. What did you watch, Mean Girls? Oh yeah, he looked sexy with his hair pushed back. Yeah, that was so awkward. Hopefully Spencer isn't blind to what's going on, but it's hard to say where the writing is going to go with him because, he was supposed to make his exit, but with actors and writers being on strike right now, he's not going to be working on that Ryan Murphy series right away, so hard to tell what's going to happen next with those two. Those scenes with Carly and Olivia felt so random for me. They were never the best of friends from the get-go. Now they're BFFs again. Yeah, well, it's interesting because obviously Carly still feels like Ned's the one that turned Carly and Drew in, which they kind of made it known today. But, they're just trying to get through and be friends and be there for each other regardless. I mean, it's growth on Carly's part for sure, which is nice. But, yeah, it was a bit random. But it did lead to some pretty entertaining scenes today with Ned and Olivia and Carly and Mason, who apparently is just a drunken idiot at a bar that flirts with women. And I'm sure he met Olivia because he was at that Quartermain picnic, so it was just gross. But I like that Carly got the last hit and knocked Mason out. Portia better check on her husband instead of harassing Spencer. No doubt. And also, yeah, as Trina got to see Curtis and kind of like say that she's not going anywhere, which was great. Spencer and Trina got to not care about Portia's opinion. Trina's 20, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think she's supposed to be a little bit older than Joss, but not by much. But yeah, they need to fix their own relationship. I think they're gonna grow apart, and it's not surprising that they're gonna grow apart because of, Nicholas making his exit for the show. But again, it's up in the air. I don't know what's gonna happen. Let's see. Okay, well, that's kind of my thoughts thus far on like kind of the other stuff that's been going on. But the two main things that I wanted to talk about in this live stream today was Sasha's current storyline and perhaps theories on what Cyrus knows and what he doesn't know about Austin and the Holt family, the Gatlin Holt family. Maybe Eddie bumped his head, so Ned come back. It won't be that easy. I wish it would be that easy, Sandy. Oh, lordy. Oh, and Kaiwani said, "Do you think they're best friends off screen in the same age group?" Well, they've known each other a long time, Laura and Lisa, because they worked together on The Loving too. And I think someone said that they either Laura or Lisa posted a throwback photo of them back in the 90s. So they've known each other a long time. Who's the greatest villain in the world, huh? Alright, let's talk about Sasha first, because, y'all, I wanted to rant yesterday, and so I'm gonna rant today. For all the things that damn character has been through, from getting addicted to drugs, and then getting pregnant and losing the baby, and then losing the husband, and then having a mental breakdown, getting over that breakdown, and then getting basically drugged to have another mental breakdown, and continuing to get drugged and having mental breakdowns by this crazy doctor who God knows what he wants from Gladys, but I'm sure he's gonna, ask her to pay up for whatever favor he's looking for. I get it. Olivia rather have Ned flirt with Carly than anyone else. Yeah, exactly. Because she knows Carly ain't gonna do anything. Lord. But yeah, maybe a few more bumps in the heads will stop this Eddie Main thing. Pretty wild that she wants, or she's willing to plan Sunny and Nina's wedding. I hope she makes it Bensonhurst as hell. And like cheesy and corny. But yeah, back to Sasha though. Like, it is so damn hard watching the scenes that they are putting her through for this storyline. And I get it, it's her exit for while she's on maternity leave. And I've said it several times at this point, but they could have just had her go on a trip. They could have had her do anything normal. And they chose to have this torturous storyline where we have to watch her get tortured and hallucinate and see her get tortured by Cyrus and Cody in her hallucinations, and then go and attack Cody when he does show up to Ferncliff when he's trying to help her. And it's rough. And there's literally no, I don't know, there's no hope for this, for not anytime soon. I don't know how long Sophia's maternity leave is supposed to be, but we know that this is going to be the continued thing until Sophia's back. We don't know how many scenes she's filmed in advance and how often we're going to see her. There might be a break in between, what she's going through right now and eventually when they bring her back. But yeah, I hope she wins an Emmy for it too, or at least a nom. But God knows when the Emmys are going to be too. The Emmys were postponed for this strike, so they're either not going to do the Emmys at all this year, or they're going to have to do it much later, and then the next one might be pushed back a long way as well. No chemistry between her and who? You think the light is better, the story? Sorry, Caroline, I'm not sure what you're saying. Oh, you fell off your bike? I'm sorry, Cyrus. Exactly, Sandy. Yeah, watching Sasha get tortured like this, it's not fun. It's not like... I can't even be like happy that she's like killing the performance, because I'm just so upset that they're putting her character through this. Like, the only way to rectify this is that the second Sophia is back from her mat leave, they need to have her deal with this, figure it out, and resolve this the week she gets back. Do not prolong it once she gets back. Do not make us sit and watch her continue to be tortured when she gets back. Like, I can't do it anymore. And like, I want a fast forward scene so bad, y'all, and I don't let myself do it. I don't let myself do it because I recap and I don't want to miss anything important. But damn, it's so frustrating. What are y'all saying? The character of Sasha serves no point on GH. When you think about it, she's lost the baby, she's lost Brandon, she's going through this crap. Once Gladys... Oh. Instagram audio. Oh, sorry guys. A friend in Montreal was calling me. It's Pride over there. I'm missing it. I'm really sad. But yeah, so... What was I gonna say? I've lost my train of thought now. Thanks, Phil. Alright. So... Where was I? Oh, okay. No, I was reading someone's... Okay. Sasha's purpose. She really does... You're right. She doesn't serve much purpose on the show. She's not really... I mean, she's kind of... Obviously, they're going to push her towards Cody. And then once Gladys and the doctor are exposed, Sasha leaves Port Charles. I mean, I'd be okay with that too, as long as Sasha gets her happy ending, even if it's out of Port Charles, you know? Like, have her deal with Sasha and the doctor. Have her be like, you know what? I think I'm done in Port Charles. It's been nothing but misery. I'm gonna go and live my own life and be happy, and boom, the end. I'd be good with that, you know? Like, I enjoy Sophia Madsen, but you are right, Nathan. There's not much point in the character. Like, yeah, she's Willow and Michael's friend and Chase's friend, but yeah, you know, she's not really super connected with anyone. She doesn't really have family in Port Charles. Like, yeah, Nina sees her like a daughter, but it's not the same thing. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just tired of seeing her tortured. And if it takes her leaving Port Charles indefinitely to find her happiness, I'm good with that. Okay, what are y'all saying? Gladys overstayed her welcome. Yeah, and that sucks for me too, because I loved the growth that Gladys experienced. And while I don't necessarily think that her getting addicted to gambling is out of character, it's the fact that, like, she didn't go to Sunny for help that makes me frustrated with that aspect of the storyline. It's not realistic for her not to, like, tell Sunny when she knows how Sunny very easily got Mike out of his depths over the years. Where's the best place in the storyline? Sason? What? They don't really have good chemistry. Yes, but that's in the eye of the beholder. I think that Cody and Sasha have okay chemistry. And there are other people that do too. But, I don't know. Should be Michael helping her. I didn't like Michael and Sasha. I'm just gonna say it. I hated them. I loved Sasha away from Michael. I felt like Michael ruined her, and that she became far more interesting when she and Michael broke up. They should have killed her off, not Kiki. I'm actually surprised that she didn't die. You know? Like, I was genuinely surprised when they were putting her through that drug addiction storyline that she didn't die from an overdose. It's a miracle that she survived that, considering she dated Michael, and everyone that dates Michael pretty much dies. Except Willow. She somehow got away with living, barely. Angel, you said Gladys regressed bad. It's disgusting. Yeah, I agree. It's horrible. And she's being horrible to other people too. Anyone that, like, is suspicious of her, she's being a monster towards. And, like, even, like, you know, insulting Sam's kid, like, ridiculous. I was glad that we got to see feisty Sam for that moment there, just, like, going right in Gladys's face and, like, ready to push her in the pool. I wish that she did. I wish that Sam did. Sorry, y'all. I won't be able to do a review tonight. Oh, I'm sorry, Jacarius. Yeah, get better, though. Get better. Heal first. Take some time. Kaiwan, you said, I think Gladys knows anything about... But I don't think Gladys knows about Mike. She does, though. She for sure does, though. Because she was around when, you know, when Mike kind of reappeared into town again. And the reason why he appeared in town again is because of his debts, like from, you know, his gambling games and debts that he forgot about because of his Alzheimer's. And Gladys for sure knows. And she's like his cousin, so she would know. Angel said, I read an article about Ava in Soap in Depth on that Instagram. Maurice and Ava got... Or Morris said Ava got feelings for Austin, but it's complicated. Well, yeah. That is definitely apparent as well. But I couldn't care less about Ava and Austin. You know, like, it's... I think that Roger and Mara have always worked well with each other. They have really good on-screen chemistry. I don't know if it's necessarily romantic chemistry that they have, but, like, her friendship with Franco was, like, pretty well written and well thought out, and you know, I think that the relationship between her and Austin kind of flowed naturally in terms of their friendship and bonding. And it honestly gave the character of Austin something better to do than to just kind of float around. But at the same time, it's not really working as much as I think the writers and the show execs hope it would. Because I don't think there's many people enjoying Austin's storyline. Alright, have a good night, Jacarius. I don't think there's many people enjoying that aspect of the storyline. But since we're getting into the Austin stuff, let's talk about it, because the one thing that is making this story at least slightly intriguing is that clearly there's a secret that Austin knows. What was I gonna say? Sorry, I lost my train of thought again because a notification popped up. Cyrus knows something about Austin and his family, and it's very, very obvious that he knows something, and I'm wondering if it has to do with whatever company he gave all of his money to. Because that's my theory. Like, I think that Cyrus, you know, while he wants everyone to believe that he's good, I think he's thrown in with whoever this mysterious mob boss is, and he's giving them all their money so that he can so that he can wreak havoc secretly through Austin's family. He's obviously in touch with whoever Austin's big bad boss is. Oh, hey, DG. It's not romantic, they're just good team partners, but I don't see any physical chemistry. Yeah, see, that's where I'm at, too. Angel, you said Maxie should have got a new place when she knew she would have Georgie more often. Why are Georgie and James sharing a bedroom? They are too big for sharing a room together. Can we talk about how the little girl that they have playing Georgie is so much like young Maxie? And And I think Maxie deserves that after all the hell that she like brought in her early years. So she can kind of now sympathize with what Mac was going through when he had to raise her. No wonder they fight. Yeah. DG said, I'm actually enjoying the Scat Rider stuff so far. At least they've ramped some things up. I like the pikeman angle. I just hope they don't mess it up. Yeah, I like that they've kind of... They're slowly turning this pikeman thing into an umbrella that's now involving Anna. And, you know, I'm far more interested in Anna and the connection with pikeman over Sunny's. Just because the whole Sunny and pikeman thing, like, it was really slow to start. But I don't know. But I agree with you. I'm enjoying a lot of what the writers are bringing to the show. The thing that I talked about this when I first started live streaming today. I think that I'm really enjoying the sort of the quiet moments that they're showing, but having these characters converse in these quiet moments. Like, usually it's just characters randomly having a conversation, and you don't really see them doing like real life things. But now we're seeing real life things happen while these conversations are going on, such as Sunny watching the game and calling Dante, and just having that quick, like, you watching the game moment with him. Like, that's realistic, and there hasn't been a lot of realism in GH in a long time, and I'm appreciating kind of mixing, like, getting to witness these characters do everyday normal things, but also continuing the storylines while it's happening. And another example was, you know, Christina watching a streaming series on her mom's TV and wearing a face mask, and then having like a really nice conversation with Alexis after. And even like Alexis and Gregory, you know, going to the axe throwing bar thing, as random as that was, I didn't hate it. It was just nice to see. I like that they're showing these friendships and relationships between these characters. And like, because I've always felt, especially over the last 10 years or however long Frank's been on, no matter who his writing team is, I think we're told about these relationships between these characters, but we seldom see how they get close. You know what I mean? Like, it just felt like one day Nina and Ava became friends, and then they were besties. You know what I mean? After like what they had gone through as enemies. And so now it's nice to see it. And even today, Maxie and Sam, you know? Or was that today or yesterday? Either way. Maxie and Sam hanging out and having ice cream and wine together. And Maxie kind of sharing her woes about her kids. And Sam bonding with James. Like, it's nice to see these relationships panning out on screen. And I do appreciate that. Everybody seems to be connected to Pikeman in some way, Sandy. Yeah, it's true. DG, you said, I like Pikeman working with the corrupt WSB. I think everyone is tired of Sunny. Sunny's enemies. That's why when, like, Cyrus came to town, I love that the focus kind of went from Cyrus and Sunny to, like, Cyrus and Laura. You know what I mean? Cyrus and Laura and the city as a whole and going after the hospital. That made Cyrus far more interesting to me when he was not in Sunny's circle and he was kind of doing everything else and affecting everyone else in town. And Sunny's, you know, Sunny ended up being in Nixon Falls, which, while I hated that storyline, I was relieved because it gave us something interesting with Cyrus. Could Anna's sister Alex be the Pot Talk boss? That would be an interesting twist. I mean, she is connected to the WSB as well, right? So, according to GH's version of her. I still get bitter about how they wrote Alex on GH. But that's a good theory, Sandy, honestly. I hadn't thought about that, but you might be right. We know the boss is a female. And if she's going after Anna, we know that she has a good reason to go after her. That would be so insane. Oh my goodness. I like that theory a lot, Sandy. You might be right. You might be right. Not as zany as it was before. Oh, man. DG said, the scene at the bar tonight's episode was hilarious. I don't like the Eddie May nonsense, but it was good comic relief. It really was. I liked seeing Olivia sort of bring out her side and like trying to fight off Mason, and Ned trying to kick Mason's ass, but because he's, old, he wasn't doing very well, and then Carly having to knock him out. The girls kicking ass and taking names, and Ned's just there like, did I get him? Oh man, yeah. I mean, if they're gonna drag out this Eddie Main shit, they better make it fun to watch. And this is like the first time I've actually like kind of enjoyed it. I've enjoyed little moments here and there. Like, I do appreciate that Leo seems to be the one mostly okay with Eddie Main's sudden, personality. So is Anna thinking Pikeman shot at her? Well, Anna knows that the shooter is connected to Pikeman and the WSB because of her flashbacks of talking to that one agent after the Greenland stuff. And I also really liked how those scenes were edited with Robert and Anna, and then showing the flashbacks of Anna with the agent, and then Anna kind of circling a chart of who's all connected, and kind of like putting Valentine as like the middleman and figuring that out and then confronting him. It's nice to see Anna have a brain. We don't get to see that a lot. And it really got wrecked for Anna during the Peter August storyline. And while it's been a little bit better for her, we never really see her like solving things on her own. She's just kicking ass mostly. But it's nice to see her like use that, secret agent brain of hers that she, was known for in the 80s. They never found Alex's body. No, they sure didn't. DG said, me too, Dion. I hated the Alex angle and the fact that Robin and Anna were reunited on All My Children and not GH. Yeah, but they just, Finola was working on All My Children, and I guess ultimately it was... I feel like GH would have had to give permission for that, right? Because it's a different writing team. So they must have, for whatever reason, because I guess at that point, GH was sort of becoming Mob Central, and Robin wasn't on GH anymore. So it would have been weird, I guess, but I don't know. And then when they finally brought Anna back onto GH, they used her as comic relief. But I also enjoyed those scenes, I'm not gonna lie. Like the reunion on the Markham Islands. It was funny to watch her like try to beat up Robert. DG said I always wanted to write a Benson Hearst spinoff that sends Sonny out of Port Charles back to his roots. And, like you were gonna write like a fanfic? Angel, you said, yeah, I haven't seen Sam and Maxie act like friends in a long while. Kelly and Kirsten are probably happy too. Their real life friendship is inspired the characters being friends. Yeah, and I really loved Maxie and Sam, how they became friends in the first place, because it was like a mutual hatred of Elizabeth. And they were both the bad girls at that point, and they've grown so much. But they had kind of lost the Sam and Maxie friendship for a while, and then they kind of brought it back once Nathan died. And I feel like while they have Sam be there for like important moments of Maxie's life, we don't see their friendship beyond those moments. So that's why I'm enjoying seeing them hang out under these writers, because it's things that are things like that are lacking on the show. That it's the actually seeing these friendships on screen in ways that don't necessarily kind of continue their major plots, but at the same time it doesn't feel like complete filler either. It feels like we need to see these two establish that these have a friendship, so that down the line, when something like Sam and Dante allowing Maxie to rent Lulu's apartment, that's what I'm saying. It's like we need to see them hang out so that it's not weird when Sam, and Dante kind of visit her for that reason. Okay, let me see. You're not the only one that hated Nixon Falls. I think everybody collectively hated the Nixon Falls storyline. Dion, the problem was that Finola was not invited back to GH. Yeah, that too, but I mean, we saw what Guza did to Anna. You know what I mean? It wouldn't have been that great if they got to take hold, I think. Which is unfortunate. The writers may not know that back in 1992, the WSB blew up the ship with Robert, Anna, and Faison on board because they thought Robert and Anna were compromised. They put them in the black box. Yeah, I mean, they kind of brought it up, when Anna came back to GH at least, in 2006, whenever that was, or 2007. But the current writers, like, all they gotta do is just check Wikipedia. Maybe Guza didn't know, but they could have done research. I like the mix and flow storyline. Of the boring part? That's how Finola and Tristan were written off. Well, yeah, because towards the end of that era, didn't Finola, leave because she was having some issues with the show? And then she was recasted for a bit, and then, I think, didn't Anna get kidnapped or something? And then we just seen Robert looking for her, and then they were both, killed off screen. That's my foggy memory of it. I do remember watching, those scenes on YouTube. But that channel's not there anymore, and that makes me really sad. Seems like the replacement writers at least check Wikipedia. Oh man, it's true. I think, it's a telltale sign that soap writers are lazy. They don't want to do the research, but the research would truly help smooth out the missing pieces that we often talk about on these kind of live streams. Any of us soap reviewers on here, whether it's, James or any of them, Albert, Jacarius. These are the scenes that are missing that, I think we often talk about, when it comes to nostalgia, seeing the friendships and families and the bonding moments back then. It really helped flourish or make GH what it was back then. Yeah, DG, you said, I don't think the writers today do enough research. Liz should tell Curtis that her grandfather, Steve Hardy, was paralyzed after falling down the stairs at GH, but he eventually recovered. Someone is watching Anna's house while she has the floor-to-ceiling windows with drapes open. Anyone could shoot her. Yeah, I guess in that sense Anna's not being very bright, but judging by the this week's preview that they showed at the beginning of the week, we know Anna's in danger. She's about to be in danger, and hopefully someone can rescue her. So yeah, it did happen off screen. Okay, I do remember. I was like, yeah, they didn't really show anything, and I think that was because of Finola's exit, right? And how she exited the show. That's the biggest thing wrong with soap writers today. They don't use history enough, and not properly when they do. And yeah, and I think, and it sucks because I think probably the fans that appreciate it the most are the ones that have watched the show the longest, or at least the fans that know the history, thanks to things like YouTube. And I appreciate these quiet moments that it just fleshes out the characters more, it fleshes out the friendships more, it fleshes out the relationships more. That's how I feel on that. I love how the camera stalks around the set. It's funny. Yeah, it feels like that's I don't know. It seems to be Frank Valentini's thing to do that. The carry-on camera where they just have, the handheld thing just kind of move around and it looks ridiculous. Or when they try to do that on dramatic moments to make it more dramatic, and it just comes off as like embarrassingly bad. Oh man. But yeah, so we got a little bit off topic there, but going back to the Cyrus thing for a moment, like what do you guys think Cyrus knows? Because he clearly knows something about Austin. Like my theory is that he's thrown in with whoever Austin's big boss is. But you know, I know a lot of people when we were talking on Sunday feel like Cyrus is truly a changed man, but I don't know. He just the smirk on Cyrus's face whenever he sees Austin is very, I know something, you know I know. Yes, I forget that there are still plenty of people who have watched from day one. I have a GH historical Facebook group that reaches thousands of people, and many have watched from day one. And that's great too. And they even really don't even have to watch from day one. They could have been started watching from the 80s. They could have started watching in the 90s. It was still, you know, while kind of the storylines changed throughout even those eras, like the heart was still there, and the heart, you know, was formed because of the care that went towards the scenes of showing how these friendships and relationships formed between these characters. And that was always consistent, and it got lost in the shuffle, especially, you know, 2000s onward. It really did get lost in the shuffle, and it became more about, you know, mob stuff and big sweep storylines, which, you know, I loved the sweep storylines, but like it would just, I think the sweep storylines would have been even sweeter if it wasn't the only time we were seeing the entire canvas. You know what I mean? Because it was like in like that 2005 to 2009 era, like the only time that we would see the long-term characters, like the veteran characters, was during sweeps, and usually when that happened, one of them was getting killed off. It's just that era. I have a love and hate on for that era. It had its good moments, but it had its rough patches for sure. Taiwanese said Cyrus knows he's not a month. He tried 1,000 a month ago who was going to run a city. But when he's gone because he did that kind of money. Sorry, I'm not too sure what you're saying, Taiwan. DG, you said, I have no idea what Cyrus's hustle is at the moment, but he obviously is involved with Pikeman or Drew. Cyrus has not changed. Yeah, I don't think Cyrus has changed either. One thing Gloria Monty did is she never forgot the older historical characters like Steve Hardy, Lee Baldwin, Gale, Jesse Brewer, and even when the Luke and Laura craze began. He knew who's gonna win the city, and he's gone because he's getting arrested at the time. Maybe like 2 years. Oh, he knows who's gonna win. He knows who's gonna take over the city. Told Sonny like 2 years ago. Well, time will tell. Time will tell for sure. But yeah, those are really the two topics I wanted to talk about. I don't have much more to say because obviously Sunday we're going to recap the show as a week, so I don't want to the show as a whole. Sorry, so I don't want to talk too much about kind of the rest of the plots that have been going on. But we'll talk about it in depth for sure on Sunday. Thanks again for being patient with me. If you guys weren't here at the beginning of the live stream, I didn't live stream yesterday because my mom got a dog, and I'm still adjusting to that because I did not see it coming, and I'm still grieving, you know, my previous doggo. With that said, obviously, The dog that she got is adorable. She's a lot bigger. Her name is Toffee. Want Curtis to get out of his depression and become PC's Ironside detective and discover who shot him and Pikeman's identity. I mean, they might as well. If they're going to make him paralyzed, they might as well put his brain to work at least. Also, since we were talking about the little moments between characters, nice touch having Marshall and Curtis play Go Fish. Like we haven't heard too much about their history as father and son because obviously they didn't have much of one. So it's nice that even these temporary writers are fleshing out their past and giving us something from their past to form a bond here in the present day. Ironside was a paralyzed detective in the 70s. Ah! Well then, yeah, they should do that with him. Oh yeah, that they're utilizing Sunny a little less. We'll see how long that goes for. Also, seeing Sunny with Donna, also nice touch and random. Like, it's little things like that. Like, they're utilizing even the little ones, which are usually kept, swept up in the closet. But we're seeing Maxie's kids, and we're seeing the kids of Sunny's and Carly's that we usually don't see, and we're seeing Scout a lot too. Like, we're seeing the little ones. It's nice, and we even saw Charlotte again. So, I mean, last week we saw Charlotte. They've brought the kids out of retirement, you guys. And we're seeing Leo a lot too. Sunny gets more airtime than anybody. Oh, good night, Sandy. Yeah, see you Sunday. And don't worry, my heart is open to the new dog. It's just that I'm still mourning my old dog, and I'm not, I said it on my Instagram this morning. It's like, it's not that I won't love the new dog. Of course, I'm going to love her. It's just that, I'm still sad and grieving, and I don't want her to see that. Like, I don't want her to feel like there's a very obvious void that I'm dealing with, because I'm sure dogs are receptive enough to figure that shit out. That's all it is. I just wished I was in a better mind frame and that I had more time to kind of process my own grief and kind of carry on. Nathan, you said, I agree, Dion. I'm glad these Skype writers are doing the stuff that Chris and Dan should have done. Yeah, that's what it comes down to ultimately. But yeah, you guys, I think I'm going to end the live stream here. I didn't want to keep it too long. I like to keep the Wednesday streams shorter if we're not like reacting to videos. And then keep the recaps a bit longer on Sundays, so we can talk about all the storylines. But yeah, I think I will end the stream here. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. If you liked this video, give it a big old thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to. Guys, I'm getting closer to 1,000, so if y'all can get me there, I'd really appreciate it. It's a cool milestone. I'd be thrilled to reach it. So if you haven't, subscribe. And I will catch you guys this Sunday for the next live stream. Peace out. Mwah. Good night, everyone.